Hi, my name is Michael Kraft, and I am one of the coordinators of the Bluefield Arts Festival. And I'm here speaking with one of the artists that is participating in the festival, Inez Sieben. And her piece in the show is Social Hour. And it's this beautiful, very colorful piece that's in her background. So, Inez, what can you tell us about this piece?
Hi, Michael, and thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about my work. Very excited to be part of the festival as well, and you guys really do some amazing work in promoting artists in the show. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Um, yeah, so Social Hour came about one evening having dinner with old friends, and they are old. They're all in their 80s and 90s, and they have been friends for a long time. And there was something about that moment, about the interaction, that was just so captivating, and really spoke to me. That was, when you know people for a long time, you've been friends for a long time. There's a comfort with being together, and so I wanted to capture that in this painting. I also wanted to capture the fact that one of them is beginning to lose her memory. She's having dementia, and I think that can be seen in the one that has the darker eyes. And so she would engage in the conversation, and then she would retreat from the conversation. And it's something that I've looked at and wrestled with what happens to us when we start to lose our memory. It happened to my dad as well, so it was part of my process with that. And the piece is 30 by 40 inches, and it's acrylic. And I like to paint in color. I like to uh, do work that expresses through color. So I think I would say I'm an expressionist abstract artist, and I think that comes through in this piece.
I love your use of color, and now I really love the story behind this painting. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. I saw social hour, so I figured obviously it's something about some people getting together, chit-chatting. But you really you it's a really great story behind this because I think um we all love spending time with our friends and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And it's important. There's all this research that's coming out that's showing that our social interactions are ever more important than what we appreciated before. They're very important for our mental health, and for our continued, keeping our brains active. And as I said, I think also it's like a good baseball glove that you've used for a long time that's gotten very comfortable. It fits your hand perfectly. I think that's also what happens in friendships that have been together for a long time. You get to a comfort level, you know each other, you know one another. And that really came through in how these three older women were talking to one another. And that's really the story that I wanted to tell. And that's what I do with a lot of my art. I like to tell stories, or I like it to be about something that really moved me in a way. It could be any number of different ways, different things that I see. Um, and so when I'm experiencing something, I like to think of how might I represent that through an image and through colors and through a way of representing the feeling of the moment, not just the image of the moment. I know you're a photographer, and so I imagine that as a photographer, you like to think of it that way too, because we can all capture an image in a certain way, but it doesn't necessarily say much. And so the trick is really to how do you tell that story through your image?
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. But I just love the way that, that you really captured a moment that, sometimes you don't get back, or it's
Yeah.
moments. or you have many moments like this, and you just want to capture one of those times because it's true what you say. I mean, once you've had a friendship for a long time, or sometimes even when you meet somebody fairly new, it's amazing how fast it clicks, and
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
important to have that time. It's almost
yeah,
like therapy.
yeah, yeah. And then painting that, lets you spend some time in that moment. You, as you just said, sometimes those moments are quick in passing, and it's good to capture them. And so for me, also the act of painting it meant that I was engaged with that moment for quite a bit longer and really had the opportunity to think about what that all means. So the art lets you express not just the visual aspects of what you're trying to capture, but also, how you felt about that moment and how you understand that moment and what does it all mean.
Right. Right. Well, I can't imagine anyone not relating to this. I think this is something that is,
Thanks.
you can
Yeah.
look at, and you can picture yourself with your friends in this moment,
Yeah. Yes. Hopefully we all get to that point where we could do it now already and hopefully also into our 90s.
which would be great, I think. As long as we have it all there and it's still all working, and
Yep.
that's the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you for spending this time. And everyone, please go to the bluefieldartsfestival.org and check out all the fabulous work that's on there, and especially this piece, Social Hour. And also look for our upcoming events. Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much. And also, if anyone wants to follow me, I'm on Instagram, Inez7.art. Thank you so much.